Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of the TuneTalk podcast. Today, we're going to be listening to the second half of After Laughter by Paramore. So, here is the first song called Pool. So I'm immediately liking this groove a lot. It's kind of got like almost like a disco vibe to it. I don't know. It's very well put together, very well produced. So, let's see where it goes as far as vocals.
As if the first cut wasn't deep enough, I dove in again 'cause I'm not into giving up. Could've got the same rush from any lover's touch. But why get used to something new? 'Cause no one breaks my heart like you. When you kiss me, you wish we could see what happens next. For a moment, I could forget what happened in my head. If I doubt you, we could come through a happy second chance, a happy ending. But this time you don't leave me sinking. I'm underwater, no air in my lungs, my eyes are open, and I'm giving up. You are the way I could never tame. If I survive, I'll dive back in. As if the first blood didn't thrill enough, I went further out to see what else was left of us. Never found the deep end of a little ocean, drain the fantasy of you head first into shallow pools. And I wonder, is it better to get it over with? The illusion could shatter before we begin. If you're really sorry, happy second chance. I think I could forgive, but this time you won't leave me sinking. I'm underwater, no air in my lungs, my eyes are open, and I'm giving up. You are the way I could never tame. If I survive, I'll dive back in. Dive back into, dive right back into you. And now I know you, now I know you. Now that I know you, dive right back into you. Back into, right back into you. Dive right back into you. And now I know you, now I know you. Now that I know you, dive right back into you. I'm underwater, no air in my lungs, my eyes are open, and I'm giving up. You are the way I could never tame. If I survive, I'll dive back in. I'm underwater, no air in my lungs, my eyes are open, and I'm giving up. You are the way I could never tame. If I survive, I'll dive back in. I'll dive back in. I'll dive back.
All right, so what did you think of Pool?
Well, I think that that was probably the best I've heard so far. I mean, better than all of part one, I would say. I mean, obviously, part one was good too, and I gave it a pretty high rating. Um, but I feel like that had a very solid groove. It was able to maintain the same kind of energy. I didn't notice, I was trying to listen for things that stood out vocally, but again, I don't know as much about that, so maybe there was something that I missed.
Yeah, out of all the songs we've listened to so far, Pool was probably the least with those little vocal things. So like, it's probably the worst possible song
That's-
you could have tried to look for vocal things in.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I didn't notice anything, but I thought you might have. There might be something in there I didn't see. But I personally think that just as far as the song overall, vocals, instrumental, all of it, just probably the best I've heard so far. So, do you have any other thoughts, Dad?
I mean, given what you said about there being not much vocals, I mean, obviously there's just like those little vocal things like any vocals will do. Like you can hold notes longer. It doesn't sound as breathy
Yeah.
in certain parts. But let's just go ahead and move on to the next song.
All right. All right. So this next song is called Grudges.
Strange how we found ourselves exactly where we left off. I know you're shaking my hand like it.
I'm just noticing for those first few vocal passages, that's quite a bit lower than the rest of the songs have been, right?
Yeah, like in terms of pitch.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
terms of pitch, that's
She starts out a lot lower, and the song kind of actually keeps that. Besides the slower songs like 26 and Forgiveness, this is probably the lowest of the more high energy ones.
I find that pretty interesting.
Is the first time. Are we alright? Are you recounting all my faults? And are you racking your brain just to find them all? Could it be that I've changed, or do you? Stop asking why we had to waste so much time. Well, we just pick up and start again. 'Cause we can't keep holding on to grudges. Time is a bastard. I won't break my neck to get around it. But aren't we so brave to give up our fight and let the years go by without us? 'Cause now I feel you by my side, and I don't even care if it's been a while. I can feel that we've changed and we're better this way. Stop asking why we had to waste so much time. Why we just pick up and start again. 'Cause we can't keep holding on to grudges. If you wanna call me out, come over, come on. We'll laugh till we cry like we did when we were kids. 'Cause we can't keep holding on to grudges. Why did it take so long? Why did it take so long? Did it take so long to just let me go? Did it take so long to stop holding on? Stop asking why we had to waste so much time. Why we just pick up and start again. 'Cause we can't keep holding on to grudges. And if you wanna call me out, come over, come on. We'll laugh till we cry like we did when we were kids. 'Cause we can't keep holding on to grudges. We can't keep holding on to grudges. Leave it all, change good. Leave it all, change good. Leave it all, change good. Leave it all, change good.
What did you think of Grudges?
So I thought that was a very interesting song. There was nothing super unique about it that I noticed. I mean, there's probably some vocal things that I missed. I know there were a few of those offbeat
Vocal flips?
step ups. Yeah. But other than that, I didn't notice anything too unique about it or that gave it a ton of character that you don't see in other songs. But it's definitely not bad. I would jam to it. But I don't know. I'm excited to see what the rest has.
And let's go ahead and move on to the next song.
All right, so the next song is Caught in the Middle. So was that any sort of vocal thing where it got that high?
I mean, that's just singing high, really.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then on the,
kinda stood
did you
out
hear
to
on the simple? Whenever she said simple,
Um,
let's go back to that.
Gotta keep going, but it's not that simple.
The simple, where it goes
Mhm.
down, like kind of like a descending staircase throughout
Yeah.
that one word. That's a pretty cool part.
yeah,
And I think she does that for a lot of the ending phrases in the chorus.
yeah, and like it's hard for me to tell exactly what is impressive and what's not, but all I can tell is that there's a lot of diversity.
What you need to know is long vocal runs.
Mhm.
High notes depends on the singer. If it's like a male singer, high notes are very impressive. Female singers, the amount of power they're able to put behind the high note also depends on if it's impressive or not. And then just little things like that, like vocal flips using the right spots, or like
like,
decrescendo,
Holding
crescendo.
holding out notes too.
Because that really shows how much power and how good they are with their breath.
Yeah. All right, so let's keep listening to it.
I gotta keep going or they'll call me a quitter. Yeah, I'm caught in the middle. I was dreaming life away, all the while just going blind. Can't see the forest for the trees behind the lids in my own eyes. Nostalgia's cruel, but it won't help you now. The dream is good if you don't wear it out. And I'm just a little bit caught in the middle. I try to keep going, but it's not that simple. I think I'm a little bit caught in the middle. I gotta keep going or they'll call me a quitter. Yeah, I'm caught in the middle. No, I don't need no help. I can sabotage me by myself. I don't need no one else. I can sabotage me by myself. I don't need no help. I can sabotage me by myself. I don't need no one else. I can sabotage me by myself. I don't need no help. I can sabotage me by myself. I don't need no one else. I can sabotage me by myself. I don't need no help. I can sabotage me by myself. Don't need no one else. I can sabotage me by myself. And I'm just a little bit caught in the middle. I try to keep going, but it's not that simple. I think I'm a little bit caught in the middle. I gotta keep going or they'll call me a quitter. Yeah, I'm caught in the middle. I'm caught in the
Well, that's what do you think of Caught in the Middle?
So it's another one of those songs, kind of similar to the one before this, where it's nothing super crazy or revolutionary with the instrumentals, but it's still really good. Like it's enough to like be a jam and something that I'd want to listen to. Like I could have this on repeat while I'm doing homework and and like it just as much as any other song. But I don't know. I'm hoping for a little bit more uniqueness. I mean, there is probably some in the vocals that I'm just not getting because because Chase chose this and he's more vocal oriented, I assume there's quite a lot I'm missing out on in that regard.
Yeah, and one thing that Paramore does very well in almost all their songs, because if you notice, a lot of the songs don't really go much of anywhere in
Yeah.
the current and build up besides like the final bridge to the chorus.
Hmm.
There isn't much of a bridge, but what they kind of do is like what I call an artificial build up, to where they kind of like slow everything down and make it quieter right before the chorus. Like in this song, they had that slower part,
Yeah.
and then it would come in more. Even though the chorus was the same strength as before, it felt more powerful.
Yeah.
Because it
And
was
there's songs like this. I often categorize songs into kind of two different main categories. They're either trying to take you on a journey, like a lot of Kevin Devine's songs that we reviewed, where they start somewhere and they end somewhere completely different. But then you also have just regular tracks where it's starting energetic, ending energetic, keeping the same vibe throughout, and I think either way works really good. So you don't need a song to take you on a journey for it to still be a really good song. So and I think that's what Paramore does with a lot of theirs, and I think it works for them.
Yeah, and I think a lot of modern pop songs is a lot more of the second group that you mentioned.
Yeah,
There is some
definitely.
storytelling in depending on how the lyrics are formed,
Mm-hmm.
but majority of it is just keeping the same energy throughout the whole song.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's move on to the next song. Okay, next up is Idol Worship.
And just to preface this one, this is actually my favorite off of the album.
All right, I'm excited to hear it.
Standing here like I'm supposed to say something. Don't hold your breath. I never said I'd save you, honey, and I don't want your money. If I see you, I'd run from me or rip me open. You'll see you're not the only one who's hopeless. Be sure to put.
I mean, we'll have to see for the rest of the song, but just initial impressions, I can see why you like this because this is very vocal heavy.
Yeah.
Compared to everything else.
Yeah, because the vocals are very forefront in this song. Like, obviously, there is the instrumental there in the background, but this is very vocal on the forefront.
Yeah. And like honestly, I mean, I wouldn't know. Again, I'm not a vocal person, but if if it is good, I mean, the vocals could be enough to carry it. Like you could theoretically have a song that's just vocals, and if they're expressive enough and if there's enough tone color and enough variety, you technically don't even need a backing track or any instrumentals at all, you know, and it could be a good song all on its own. So I'm excited to hear it.
Your faith in something more. I'm just a girl, and you're not as alone as you feel. We all got problems, don't we? We all need heroes, don't we? But rest assured, there's not a single person here who's worthy. La, 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 la. Don't let me let you down. Hey, baby, I'm not your superhuman. And if that's what you want, I hate to let you down. I got your hopes up, now I got you hoping that I'm gonna be the one to let you down. Oh, it's such a long and awful lonely fall down from this pedestal that you keep putting me on. What if I fall on my face? What if I make a mistake? If it's okay, a little grace would be appreciated. Remember how we used to like ourselves? What little light that's left, we need to keep it sacred. I know that you're afraid to let all the dark escape you, but we can let the light illuminate these hopeless places. La, 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 la. Just let me let.
So that was kind of an awkward spot to pause it. Sorry, I want to talk about this a lot because I know it's your favorite, and so I want to try to get a deeper understanding of it. But obviously, you can't really process the meaning of the lyrics on a first listen because this is my first listen ever of this song and this album entirely. So I can't really process the lyrics, but I can tell, you know, not a lot of it's repeating. So what that tells me is that this song is probably kind of like how I was talking about Journey, talking about journeys before, how songs can take you on a journey and like a story and end different than they started. I can't tell exactly how this is doing it, if it's doing it good, but I can tell that there is a vocal journey within this song. And even if it's not instrumental, I mean, I don't know anything about vocals, but I still think it's pretty good, you know? Like, I can't process the lyrics on a first listen, but right now I'm really liking it. And this is probably either my favorite or second favorite on the album so far.
Yes, if I can go on a little tangent here, I'm not going to completely give away the whole meaning of the lyrics.
Go right ahead.
Okay, but if you look at the name of the song, first of all, it's Idol Worship, which you think it should actually be IDOL worship, like you're worshiping an idol. But idol as in, like, non-moving, just stale. Which, the main problem was, whenever they released this album, Paramore was facing a lot of obsessive fans mainly towards Haley, given that she is a female lead singer.
Mhm.
And people are like, "Oh, I would do anything for you," kind of like obsessing over her, even though she was a person that they can't get to, and they're idly worshiping
Yeah.
her. And this is kind of like a slap to like, I'm not your superhuman, I'm just a regular human. I'm just another person that can sing. Like,
Yeah. So I had the general idea of it, but I just didn't know the specifics.
Yeah.
Because obviously I didn't know the band's history or anything like that, or how the environment was when this album came out. But I'm kind of proud of myself for being able to recognize that.
you had a little bit of intuition there.
And I think it gives it a lot of character and definitely makes it stand out from the rest of the album. So let's finish listening to it.
Shoot down, hey baby, I'm not your superhuman. And if that's what you want, I hate to let you down. I got your hopes up, now I got you hoping. But I'm gonna be the one to let you down. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh no, I ain't your hero. You're wasting all your faith on me. Oh no, I know where this goes. They can say you doesn't look a thing like me. La 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 la. Don't let me let you down. Hey baby, I'm not your superhuman. And if that's what you want, I hate to let you down. I got your hopes up, now I got you hoping that I'm gonna be the one to let you down. Hey baby, I'm not your superhuman. And if that's what you want, I hate to let you down. I got your hopes up, now I got you hoping that I'm gonna be the one to let you down.
Alright, so what were your overall thoughts on idol worship?
I mean, I think I've already talked about it enough as far as the lyrics and the journey and all that, but again, all those points still stand. I think it's probably the best song on the album that I've heard so far. I think we have, what, 2 left?
Yep.
So maybe that'll change, but as of right now, that's the best one, and I think, yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say about it. It was just great. So, yeah, let's move on to the next one. All right, so the next song is No Friend. Oh, very interesting start.
Gonna be in for a surprise. His vocals just,
Yeah. So, initial thoughts in the first minute of this. Many bands can make this work. Many bands can do it where it's a mostly instrumental track and you have just some like talking or half singing in the background that might not even be from the lead singer. A lot of bands do this. Matt and Kim has done this quite a few times. Even Churches has a few songs that are like this. And I like it when they do this, but they take it somewhere with the instrumentals. So far, the first minute has just been the same guitar pattern over. If it continues that way, probably not gonna be the greatest song in my opinion. If they add some character to it or take it somewhere, your face is making me skeptical.
I'm
of
gonna
that.
warn you, just saying, this song makes me feel like I'm in a singing asylum, because it's just that constant pattern repeating for 3 minutes straight
Uh-huh.
with those vocals. So that's why this is not one of my favorites.
Interesting. All right, so we're gonna have to listen to the whole thing anyways, so I might as well get it over with.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, having the singing gives it some character, but it's not like,
There's just a small variation.
yeah. So what I can say about this, I know we're nearing the end of it, and there's only like 20 seconds left, but a lot of bands do this, and it is supposed to add some sort of meaningful aesthetic, or give some more character to the album as a whole. I personally don't think it works. I don't like it as much, but it's not bad, right? Like it's not impossible to listen to. Like I could still tolerate it. And that's mostly what it is. Like I'm not picky when it comes to the music I listen to, as long as it's not country or rap. I can tolerate anything. Obviously there's stuff I like more than others.
Rushing toward a waterfall. My friend stood on the shore and shouted to let go of the coat and swim back to land. I let go of the coat, but the coat won't let go of me. In any case, please let me know if there's more I can give you. If nothing comes of it, then just know we are grateful.
Alright, so before I get your final thoughts on this, I just wanted to say, I always kind of picture this, like say you were going to a concert or something. I always picture this as like an interlude song, to where it's like you have like this big energy song, you just kind of like play this in the middle to kind of like change the mood of the crowd, and then you go back to another big energy.
Yeah, I could definitely see this. Like I'm sure, I mean, Paramore's pretty big. I'm sure they went on a tour for this. And I could definitely see that being in use. But the problem with that is that you could I don't know. I feel like that doesn't deserve to be its own track. If it's just if that's all the purpose of it is just for that interlude or just for a break in the middle of the album, it doesn't need to be there.
Which, as you said, a break in the middle of the album, but the problem with this one, it's at the end.
It's
of the album.
it's at the end of the album. Most tours, most concerts that I've been to play the album more or less in order, unless they're just doing like a greatest hits thing. They play the album more or less in order, or at least by the general order, with skipping a few switching a few around. So I really don't see this working too well in a concert setting, and I don't see it working, and it doesn't work very well just as an album in general, or as part of the album in general. It doesn't taint my image of the album as a whole very much, because there are so many albums out there that I've listened to where you'll have some really great songs, like Idol Worship was an incredible song, and then you can have ones on the same album that just miss the mark. So personally, I don't like this. If you do like it, fine. You know, it's not horrible. It's not country. Sorry, all you country fans, but we're not.
And rap fans.
And rap fans. Well, okay, Eminem is
Some
okay.
rap. Some rap is fine. Okay, we can't say Eminem because that makes you sound like a white boy rapper.
Yeah. Dang. All right, no rap.
well.
Anyways. Now we're going to be moving on to the final song.
Well, actually, before we do that, I just want to say one thing. So you know how you mentioned before, like, you could, like, put a song on in the background and just listen to it while you're doing other stuff?
Yeah.
I feel like I couldn't do that with this song because of the vocals being so quiet and just the constant same rhythm
It's
back and forth, I feel like I'd be too focused on trying to hear what the vocals are saying and trying to break through that like barrier of the repeating rhythm.
not only that, when I listen to music, for like just having it on in the background to do like homework or chores or whatever I'm doing, I usually listen to stuff that's like happy, energetic, or uplifting in a major key. I'm pretty sure this guitar riff is a minor arpeggio, which is like kind of dissonant and like hard to listen to. So like I could see them maybe trying to have that be the purpose of this song, but I don't see it working out as well as they think it did.
Yeah, and like an album full of.
If that's the goal of this song, and we may be totally misinterpreting what they wrote this song for and why they wrote it the way they did, but as a song individually, I don't think it works, and I don't think it works in an album setting as well as, you know, just putting another regular track in there.
Yeah, for what I'm interpreting here is it's basically just a minor song in there that is up there in there to break up all the major positive energetic songs.
Which, like, some albums need that, some albums don't. I don't think this one did. A lot of albums don't. I think sometimes if your songs are really energetic or really happy, you know, full pop, major key, stuff like that, then it can need a break like this. This album didn't need it. So let's move on to the final song. All right, and now for the final song, which is Tell Me How.
I can't call you a stranger, but I can't call you. I know you think that I erased you. You may hate me, but I can't hate you, and I won't replace you. Tell me how to feel about you now. Tell me how to feel about you now. Oh, let me know. Do I suffocate or let go? I think I'm tired of getting over it and just starting something new again.
Okay, so I don't know how much more energetic the song is going to get, but if it stays at the level it is right now, this was the emotional break that they needed. This was the calmer song that they needed to have as part of the album, not the song before this. If this stays at the energy level it is now, the song before this is irrelevant and shouldn't have been in the album. If it gets more energetic, I can see why they might have done it. But if it stays at the energy level it is now, it makes the previous song even worse.
And also with the other slower songs like 26 and Forgiveness, those also kind of break up the big energy songs.
Yeah.
So with those two, which were very good slow energy songs, they'd have their high points. Except for 26, kind of stayed lower the entire song, but still had a good message and made it through with lower
And a
energy.
lot of albums have a very calm closer. Like most albums, you'll either have a really big energetic closer or you'll have a really calm closer. I don't know what this is going to be yet because we're only a quarter of the way through the song. But if this is a calmer closer and more of a subtle, kind of smooth ending to the album, then the previous song was even more irrelevant and even more unnecessary. So Just a thought I had.
I'm getting sick of the beginnings, and I always come to your defenses. I guess it's good to get it off my chest. I guess I can't believe I haven't yet. You know I got my own convictions, and they're stronger than any addiction, and no one's winning. Tell me how to feel about you now. Tell me how to feel about you now. Oh, let me know. Don't suffocate or let go. Tell me how to feel about you now. Tell me how to feel about you now. Oh, let me know. Don't suffocate or let go.
One thing that I wanted to point out for you there in that chorus area is the beginning of almost every phrase was a crescendo up to one big point, and then it would decrescendo back down, just to give some variation to the vocals in there.
Yeah, and to give it kind of a more of a tone color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep me up with your silence. Take me down with your quiet. Of all the weapons you fight with, your silence is the most violent. Tell me how to feel about you now. Tell me how to feel about you now. Oh, let me know. You will suffocate or let go. Tell me how to feel about you now. Tell me how to feel about you now. Oh, let me know. You will suffocate or let go.
First of all, what was your overall thoughts on Tell Me How and the album as a whole?
So, like I predicted, it was a subtle end. It was a calmer end to an album, which means that, yes, No Friend was even more unnecessary, which, it's fine, whatever. Every album will have a few misses. But this song I thought was really good. It manages to keep a calm energy, but still having a lot of times what artists will do is with calmer songs they'll take out percussion entirely so that it feels a lot more open. So they were able to pull off keeping the percussion in really well, and I think they did a good job of that. The song as a whole, I mean, I can't really attest to the vocals, but the song as a whole I thought was really good, and for the album as a whole, really good. It can't get much better than that. I haven't heard very many albums that I've liked more than that. Other than that one song, No Friend, I couldn't ask for more. So, yeah, really great album. Had fun reviewing it, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
See ya.
See ya.